Evaluate limit. Limit x approaching 4 for the function square root x minus 2 divided by x to the power of 3 over 2 minus 8. Now as usual, let's plug in 4 and check what value do we get. So if I plug in 4 here, what do I get? I get 4 square root minus 2 divided by square root of 4 cube minus 8. Now 4 square root is 2, so 2 minus 2 is 0, and 4 cube is 64. 4 times 4 times 4, I should have written 4 here. 4 times 4 times 4, 64, and cube and square root of 64 is 8. So we get 8 minus 8, so we get 0 over 0, right? By now, you must be thinking why every time I do this step on the right. Reason is that is what we should do. Whenever we have to find limit, the first choice is to substitute the value and check whether direct substitution works or not. Even if it doesn't work, it gives us a hint as to what approach we should follow to find the limit. Now here we get 0 over 0. That clearly indicates that 4 is a factor of x minus 4. X minus 4 is a factor of both numerator and denominator. Do you understand? So the approach here is to somewhat simplify the expression and cancel that factor from both numerator and denominator and then find the limit. Okay, now how to simplify this radical function? So, yeah, my students sometimes find it very difficult. I'll show you a very easy way of doing it just now. So it says limit x to the power of 4, and let's look at it in a different way. So we'll look at it like this. Square root x minus 2 divided by, we'll look at it as difference of cubes. This is square root x, let me write this as cube, minus 2 cube. Now in the denominator, I have difference of cubes, right? So I can always expand it, and then we'll have factors which could be cancelled. So we can expand it. Do you remember a cube minus b cube formula? Okay, let me write it here for you. A cube minus b cube equals to a minus b times a square plus ab plus b square, right? So we'll use this formula to factor the denominator. So we have numerator as square root of x minus 2, and what is a for us? A is square root x and b is 2. So we'll write this as a minus b, that is square root of x minus 2 times a square of square root x is x, plus ab, which is 2 times square root x, plus b squared, which is 4. So that's what we get. Now look here, we have a common factor. This is what we were looking for, right? So this can be cancelled. So once we cancel this, we get limit x approaching 4, and that is 1 on the numerator, and in the denominator we get x plus 2 square root x plus 4, right? Now you can substitute 0, and once you do that, you get 1 over 0 plus 2, 0 plus 4. That means 1 over 4. So 1 over 4 is the limit of the given function, correct? So that's how we do it. So these kinds of functions could be solved using factoring, right? Another approach could be to rationalize it. So let me explain you how we could do with rationalization, okay? It may seem difficult to some students now, but it is a very important technique of doing it, right? Rationalization is kind of reverse of this, right? So think about it like this. We have some function here. Let's say we have a minus b here, right? Think like this. This is a and this is b, right? It was a minus b, right? That's why we get this term, right? So if I multiply this by a square plus ab plus b square, then what should I get? I get a cube minus b cube. That is the rationalization which I'm going to use, and that's the alternate way of doing it. Okay, now let me show you that. So we can write the equation again, or the limit, as, so I'm rewriting the problem and solving for you. This is, I should say, method 2. Okay, and let me say this is method 1. Okay, so this time we'll use technique of rationalization. So we say limit square root of x minus 2, and we'll multiply, and let me write denominator also, x cube minus 8, and we'll multiply and divide by this number. Do you see that? We'll multiply with this number, which is a square plus ab plus b square. So we'll say x plus 2 square root x plus 4 divided by x plus 2 square root x plus 4. Now what do we get? A cube minus b cube in the numerator, right? So let me push this a bit forward for you. I may do. So we get in the numerator limit x approaches 4, so that these things don't mix up. I'm changing the ink. So here in the numerator, when you multiply this whole thing with this, you get a cube minus b cube. You get x cube minus 2 cube. Do you see? Which is 8 divided by this function, x cube minus 8 times this, which is x plus 2 square root x plus 4. Now you can cancel these out. If you cancel them, then what do you get? You get limit x approaches 4, 1 over the same thing, x plus 2 square root x plus 4, which gives you 1 over 0 plus 2 square root 0 plus 4, which is same as 1 over 4. So you get the same answer, right? So two different techniques to evaluate this limit. Now remember, if you have square roots, you always have an option to rationalize. And rationalize is a great technique which will always help you. And now when we move forward, we'll also teach you one more method, that is substitution. So we'll define another variable and substitute that variable for the existing variable to solve such problems. So we'll follow these three techniques: 1, factoring; 2, rationalization; and 3, substitution of a variable. Thank you.